Welcome to another Math Ninja Pro video. In this video, we are going to look at two more examples on how to factorize quadratic expressions. So we have two quadratic expressions over here. The first one is 6x squared plus 11x minus 10, and the second one is negative 2x squared minus x plus 21. So let's see how we can use our multiplication frame to help us factorize these quadratic expressions. So we need to start by putting our x squared term into the yellow box. So 6x squared goes into the yellow box, and the constant term, which is negative 10, will go into the green box. We need to get 11x as a sum for both the gray boxes. So let's try to guess what are our factors. So first we need to ask ourselves, what times what is going to give us 6x squared? So we can guess that to get 6x squared, it could be x times 6x. It could also be 3x times 2x. So let's try 3x and 2x. These would give us a product of 6x squared. Next, we need to ask ourselves, how do we get negative 10? We can get negative 10 by taking 1 times negative 10, negative 1 times 10, 2 times negative 5, or negative 5 times 2. So there are many combinations to get negative 10. So let's try 10 and negative 1 and see if it works. Right? If we try this, what we have in our gray box would be 2x times 10, which is 20x, and negative 1 times 3x, which is negative 3x. Looking at these two x terms, 20x and negative 3x, there is no way we can add them together to get 11x. So 10 and negative 1 does not seem to be the correct factors to use. So let's try 5 and negative 2, and let's see if this works. So if we use 5 and negative 2, we are going to get 2x times 5, which is 10x, and negative 2 times 3x, which is negative 6x. Again, when we sum them up, we are not going to be able to get 11x. So what should we do? Maybe we can switch the 5 and negative 2 around, and let's put negative 2 over here and 5 over here. If we switch the positions, let's see what we get in our gray boxes. We have 2x times negative 2, which gives me negative 4x, and we have 5 times 3x, which gives 15x. Now let's check. 15x minus 4x, can we get 11x? Yes, so therefore 6x squared plus 11x minus 10 must be equal to 3x minus 2 times 2x plus 5. Alright, so you can see that there is a little bit of trial and error involved here. Let's try another example. First, we need to start by putting our x squared terms into the yellow box and putting our constant term into the green box. And again, we need to sum the gray terms to get negative x. So let's ask ourselves again, how do we get 2x squared? We can get 2x squared if we have x times negative 2x. That would give us negative 2x squared. And how do we get 21? We can get 21 from 1 times 21, or we can get 21 from 3 times 7. So let's try 3 and 7 and see what we get here. So we have negative 2x times 3. So in the first gray box, we are going to get negative 6x. In the second gray box, we are going to get 7x. Now let's check. If we sum 7x and negative 6x, we would get 1x. But what are we supposed to get? We are supposed to get negative x. So what can we do to get negative x? Perhaps we can try to switch the negative signs around. So this is what I can do. I can switch the negative sign by changing negative 2x to 2x and putting the negative at x instead and see what happens. Right now in my first gray box, I would have 2x times 3, which is 6x. And in my second gray box, I would have 7 times negative x, which is negative 7x. Let's sum the gray boxes. Will we get negative x? 6x plus negative 7x is indeed negative x. So therefore, negative 2x squared minus x plus 21 is equal to negative x plus 3 multiplied to 2x plus 7. Remember to like, subscribe, and keep coming back for more Ninja level math videos.